Good morning everyone and happy National Libraries Week. I could not let this week go without celebrating libraries. Obviously, as most of you know, if you've watched my channel before, I work in a library myself. I have done for the last 6 years, and I also worked at the library I work at now back when I was at uni for a year, back in 2007. Gosh, that's chunks ago. Libraries are just wonderful places. There's not many places that you can go to get free books, free computer time if you haven't got a computer. They're just a real hub for the community, and they do lots of free events and things. You know, they do events now that we've never done before, trying new things all the time to work with the current climate. It's doing lots of online digital stuff. We do rhyme times, Saturday stories, we do different craft sessions. There's just so many things I couldn't even tell you. We are actually members of well, I'm loosely a member of 5 different library areas. Sophie's a member of 4. I've got some of the library cards here. So this one is my St Helens library one. I don't know if you can, it might not look very well, but that one. We've got my Wigan libraries one. I mean, some of these might have changed now, some of them might have lovely pictures and stuff, but I've been a member of some of these for a long time. So then we've got the Warrington LiQWYD library card. Warrington recently did a pop-up shop in the shopping centre in town, so I went along and signed up to theirs. Some of these have got like 16 libraries, 12 libraries, 10 libraries within an area, so actually you're a member of lots of different libraries even if you just sign up to one. That's Sophie's St Helens library one. I thought that was quite pretty with that picture on. That's Sophie's Wigan Council one. I know Wigan Council recently did a competition for people to decorate the picture, doing a new picture, create a new picture. This is when I worked in Sefton. I was a member of Sefton Library. So you've got the Crosby Beach, another place figure in the foreground there. Halton Libraries. Halton Libraries have newer ones now. They've got the Runcorn Widnes Runcorn Bridge on the front, and then Sophie's Halton Libraries one is a Spot the Dog My First library card one. When she's a bit bigger, I'll take her to get one with the bridge on. So yeah, I was also a member of Liverpool Libraries when I went there for uni, and obviously my uni, Liverpool Hope Uni, had a great library then. I spent lots of time in there and I loved it. So I thought I'd go through some of the books that I've got out from the libraries at the moment, because we're members of all those different ones. They come from different places. Some of the ones we're hoping to take back in the next few days. And then I thought today that I would take you along to some of my local libraries. So Goulburn Library and Ashton Library, which is part of Wigan Libraries, while I go and have a little browse. So I thought we'd do that. But first of all, I'll just have a quick sweep of the ones that I've got out at the moment. So we've got About Us by Sinead Moriarty, 3 couples, 3 love stories, 1 couch. So this one says, Alice and Niall used to be lovers, best friends and parents in that order. Now they're no longer on the same page or even reading from the same book. Anne thought when she and Ken retired it would be their second spring. Instead it feels more like an icy winter. Ola is falling in love with boyfriend Paul, but her complicated past makes her unsure if she can ever be intimate with anyone. 3 couples find themselves telling a stranger about the most private parts of their lives, their hopes, their disappointments, their awkward realizations. Can they learn to be honest with one another, and what will life-changing decisions will be made when they do? So there's that one that I've got out at the moment. I already talked about Enough Already in one of my TBRs. That's by Mary Hargreaves, so I'm not going to mention that one again. I've got The Idea of You by Robin Lee. That one is Everyone in the World Knows His Name, but it's You He Wants. Pretty sure this is about a mother who ends up falling in love with like a pop star from a boy band, yeah, who's actually the poster on her daughter's teenage wall. So yeah, there's that one. I have just finished reading Thunderhead, so obviously I've got The Toll to read next. I'm either going to be reading this before October's out or just early November in time for the live show on Rachel's channel. It's run by Becca. Ashley and Rachel. They've been doing a scythe along, and this is the final one, so I'm excited to get to that one. This one, The Resort by MJ Hardy. This is a self-published one. It says, when three women win a holiday in a Facebook competition, they think it's by chance. It's not. When one woman accompanies her husband on business, she thinks she'll return with him. She won't. Welcome to the resort where nothing is as it seems. Invited guests testing the facilities before it opens its doors in 1 week's time to face some uncomfortable truths. Who will survive the week and who won't leave at all? So I thought that sounded quite interesting. The cover doesn't quite reflect that. I actually think it might be a thriller. So there's that one. Then we've got a non-fiction. Sorry, Sophie's stuck like a little red thing on the front. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll have to peel that off. Don't know if she's managed that. Do Something for Nothing by Joshua Coombs. It says, in 2015, while working at a London hair salon, Joshua Coombs took to the streets with his scissors to offer haircuts to people sleeping rough in the capital and began posting transformative images on social media to amplify their voices. From this, hashtag Do Something for Nothing was born, a movement that encourages people to contribute their skills and time to those who need it. Featuring before and after photographs, street art and stories, this book is an inspiring and uplifting account of one man's experiences with people who have more in common with all of us than you might imagine. So yeah, I fancied having a little look at that. I don't know what skills I could bring to the community, but when I finally figure that out, then I will certainly try to contribute. One of the things that I have actually been looking into at the moment is starting my own decluttering business. It's going to be a long-term plan, so it's not something that I'm rushing out to do tomorrow, but it's something that I've been doing in my own home for a little while. I feel like it's something that I really enjoy and can be quite good at. It's made such a difference in our house, so I kind of want to extend that out for people. So something that I'm looking into at the minute. I've never started my own business. I don't know anybody who has, so I'm going through a local enterprise at the minute where they support you in doing that. There's lots to read, there's lots to think about. But one thing they mentioned is it's within the council, so they're suggesting that once you do get your business up and running, you do some work with the local community for free to give something back, which I really like the idea of. So it might be that I go along to a community centre or a church or something like that where I can help them to declutter their spaces as well. So yeah, that's watch this space. That's something that in the long term I'd like to do, and I'm just thinking about at the moment. It's a job that I could work around my health as well, because I've been struggling recently. It's something that I really need to think about so I can carry on having a regular routine of going out to work, and because I really need that for my mental health, supporting my family, and but also doing something I'm really passionate about. Libraries I'm so passionate about, so I will end up doing the two for quite a while yet, but like I said, long-term plan. So the next one is Happy Not Perfect by Poppy Jamie. It says, upgrade your mind, challenge your thoughts and free yourself from anxiety. We are living through a growing mental health crisis exacerbated by a digital first culture that is putting untold pressure on a generation of young people. Poppy Jamie has made it her life's mission to do something about this and shares the actionable science-backed solutions we can all use to rewire our daily thoughts and break damaging patterns for good, those same ones that she used to piece herself back together after suffering from chronic anxiety and burnout. Blending cutting-edge science from the world's leading experts, straight-talking spirituality, and the very soul of Poppy's own experiences, Poppy sets out her 4-step flex framework that enables you to bend and stretch negative thought pathways into better shape, unravel emotional blockages, raise energy levels, move through challenges with confidence, and create a life aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. So I thought that was quite interesting. Obviously, that's a non-fiction. Then we've got Contacts by Mark Watson. He is a comedian in the UK. It says, James Chilton boards the 2350 sleeper train from London to Edinburgh with 2 pork pies, 6 beers and a packet of chocolate digestives. At 23:55 he sends a message to all 158 people in his contacts telling them that he plans to end his life in the morning, so obviously trigger warnings for this. He then switches his phone to flight mode. He said goodbye. To him it's the end of the story and time to crack open the biscuits. but across the world 158 phones are lighting up with a notification. Phones belonging to his ex-best friend, his mum, his sister, the woman who broke his heart, people he's lost touch with, people he barely knows, and for them the message is only the beginning of the journey. It says funny and wise, tender and deeply moving. Contacts is a beautiful story about the weight of loneliness, the importance of kindness, and how it's never too late to reach out. So I think this is going to be a really important book to read. Like I said, trigger warnings, but it does sound like it could be quite uplifting if these people are reaching out to him saying we really care. Yeah. Next is The School for Good and Evil, A Crystal of Time. I think this is book 1, 2, 3, 4, book 5 in the series. This is the one I'm up to. I am reading this for the Scary Readathon. Is the I think the one that I'm doing it for, I'm sure it's continuing a series, but I'll put the name of the prompt. I can't believe I forgot it, but yeah, I want to carry on with this series. I'm so close to the end now. Let's see. I saw this one at the library yesterday. The Group by Lara Fagel. I just thought it sounded really good. It said the 5 of them, Stella, Pris, Kay, Helena and Polly, met at university, their lives full of lazy afternoons and late nights. Friendship seemed simple and there was such pleasure in the endless task and in just living alongside each other. Now the women are turning 40 and they're finding that a shared past can sometimes be a burden. They're all struggling to navigate the ways in which their lives have differed from the hopes they had for themselves and for each other. In the past, solidarity came easily, but now they compare lovers, husbands, jobs, children and sofas, asking how the choices they've made or failed to make hold up. Or the choices they've made or failed to make hold up. That's a weird sentence, isn't it? As marriages end and secrets emerge, they wonder whether these people, the ones who know so much about them, are really the ones they can confide in. And then there's Watching Neighbours Twice a Day, How 90s TV Almost Prepared Me for Life by Josh Widdicombe. I just thought this sounded really funny. This is a book about growing up in the 90s, told through the thing that mattered most to me, the television programmes. There were kids at my school who liked bands, kids who liked football, and one weird kid who liked petanque. Is that a board game? However, we all loved Gladiators, Neighbours and Pebble Mill with Alan Titchmarsh. Never heard of Pebble Mill. Possibly not the third of these. And then Adam Hills has put, you know, when your mate does something really impressive and you look at them with a renewed sense of admiration, that's how I feel about Joss's book. He's got pictures the CFAX page on the screen there. So yeah, I thought that sounded interesting. I am going to try and get this on audiobook and me and Andy can listen it together. I'm also going to try and get the Bob Mortimer one. I think we'll like reading that together. So they're mine that I've gone out at the minute. Andy's just got 2 out. So he's got Puccoon by Spike Milligan and he's got Beeswing by Richard Thompson. I'm not even going to try and explain what these are about, but this one's Fairport, Folk Rock and Finding My Voice 1967 to 75. So they're Andy's. And then Sophie's obsessed with the That's Not My books. Even though now she's 6, she still loves reading some of the board books. So she recently took out That's Not My Bunny, That's Not My Wombat, and That's Not My Giraffe. I think she just likes the pictures and the rhythm of them, so I don't mind her getting them up from the library. Wouldn't really want to buy them in because I just think they're over in 2 seconds, and so yeah, library for those. And then Pepper the Easter Bunny, she still loves Pepper. Like I said, she's been getting more into chapter books, as you know, from the Story Treehouse books we've been reading. But we are going to start on Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, the Tom Gates series, so The Brilliant World of Tom Gates by Liz Pichon, and we did read the, what's the first one? The Awesome Friendly Kid by Jeff Kinney, but we're going to try the next one in the series, Awesome Friendly Adventurers. Wow. And then she's just got like picture books and reading style books. So we've got The Lion and the Mouse and The Boy Who Cried Wolf, so Aesop's Tales. I always remember them from when I was little. And The Not So Little Princess, Best Friends. Harry McCleary's Bone, My Best Friend. Aliens Love Santa Claus. She loves any books about Christmas. She would read Christmas all year round. This one was actually really interesting. What they do with all that poo is the different animals' poos and what they're used for. It was just see. So what do zoos do with all that poo? And then tells you how they use them in the zoo. Let's have a look. Why, obviously like the hippo, why the poos are a certain way, why they're a certain colour, why they smell a certain way. There's a unicorn in your book. Dragon stew. 10 little unicorns. This is a sore point because Sophie was meant to meet Mike Brownlow at Ashton Library, and then it's been cancelled because of the petrol situation. It was cancelled first of all because of COVID, then because he's coming from far away and he wasn't sure he'd be able to get the petrol. So hopefully, third time lucky, this will get rebooked in October or November and we will be able to go. And we've got Pug Hug. She's obsessed with books about dogs. The Book of Love. Underwater Dogs, which is just a picture of all dogs underwater pulling funny faces. And Dandy and Dazza, again about dogs. So they're all the ones that each of us have got out. I am going to be taking some back over the next few days. So obviously I finished Thunderhead, finished Sanatorium, the book by Sarah Pearce, the Switzerland pick for the Eurovision-a-thon book club. If you're interested in that, I'll link the details below. We are currently reading Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, which is the book representing Iceland, and next month in November we're going to be focusing on the Ukraine. The Treehouse Joke Book 2 by Andy Griffiths and Terry Denton, and then she's also got the 26 story Treehouse, so I'll be taking those back. And then for over the summer, I got some books about doing different projects and art projects. I think we looked at a few in here, but we did our own things, so I'm going to take them back as well. So that's all that we've got out, all that we're taking back. And yeah, we will go to Goulburn and Ashton Library at some point. I am now going to just quickly show you through my borrow box, because obviously libraries, a lot of them do online ebooks and audiobooks, so I will do a little screen grab and you can see the books that I have got out on there at the moment. So here is my borrow box. At the moment I am listening to Roaring Forties by Ed Byrne, which is basically a live recording of one of his stand-up shows. I have got Fairest by Marissa Mayer on there, which is I'm trying to read for the Lunar Along. I haven't been able to join in so far because I've read all the books up till now, but I need to read Fairest in October, and then I'm hoping to read Winter in November, which I've actually got the physical book for. I will be buddy reading Winter with Jessica from Lady Lovestead channel. There's Burial Rites. I've got that on audiobook. I couldn't get it at my library in physical copy. This is the October pick for the Eurovision-a-thon book club. Sophie has been enjoying listening to the 39 story Treehouse on audiobook, even though she's read all the physical ones. She just likes listening to them, although she's not sure of the narrator. It's an Australian voice. She's just not used. I don't think when she was reading it, I don't think it sounded like, well, obviously it sounded like Mum's voice because I read all the books to her, but I don't think she was expecting his voice to sound like that. So it's taken some getting used to, but she's enjoying it now. And then I've got Eddie, Albert and the Amazing Animal Gang by Paul O'Grady. I love Paul O'Grady. I think this is a middle grade book that eventually I'll read with Sophie, because obviously Paul O'Grady loves dogs in particular, and so does Sophie. Then I've got A Reserve on a Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. What I've found with the audiobooks and ebooks online is that quite often the available from date can seem like far away. For example, this one's the 26th of December, but actually because it assumes that every person who's got it checked, reserved or checked out is going to have it out for 3 weeks, it plans the date on that, whereas some people will send it back beforehand, so it might come earlier. Like I said, I'm waiting on the audiobook of And Away by Bob Mortimer, because I'm hoping me and Andy can listen to that together. And then we've got My Lone History. So I was looking for some of the books that some of the booktubers chose for me for my 1 year booktube anniversary, so I know they've got those now, so I just keep them Well, it just shows them my own history so that I know they're there, and then when I want to read them, they will be there. So you've got Normal People, Sally Rooney, Rebecca Daffy du Maurier. I want to move on to the Always with Love book by Giovanna Fletcher because I read Billy and Me for Rachel Carris's Books With Me book club and enjoyed it. Again, Sophie's read some of the story Treehouse. Really want to get round to reading Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. That one's there, says train your mind for peace and purpose every day, which sounds really good. I'm in the middle of Becoming by Michelle Obama. Other things have got in the way, but I am fully intending to complete that at some point. We've got, like I said, I've read Billy and Me. So we've got A Midlife Cyclist by Rachel Ann Curran, basically about somebody who's in midlife and decides to take up cycling, I believe. Again, there's Fairest, I've already mentioned that one, and The Middle Matters, I read that for, oh gosh, a past TBR, I can't even remember which one. Then ebooks, obviously a lot for Sophie. This is the next one in the Maz Evans series that I need to get to. Yeah, a lot of Sophie ones. The Cat in the Hat knows a lot about Christmas. I thought the Breakup Book Club by Wendy Wax sounded really good, so that's one I've got on my radar. So yeah, that's my ebook and audiobook choice, but it's really good. There's loads of options, and they always have a spotlight one that as many people as want to can take them out. So there it says unlimited access this month, so you'll never get to it and it'll say checked out. So there's some there. They'll always be available for whoever wants to take them out. You know, a mixture of like middle grades and stuff. There's a Matt Haig middle grade. Oh, Scythe. Oh, Scythe was a spotlight. That was good. We should have known that for Scythe Along. Yes, there's lots of different options read by the author, if that's what you're looking for. Oh, Add Fright to your night. Maybe I'll stay away from that. Self-care and mental health titles. These are all just what's available on the BorrowBox. Our Halton Library's BorrowBox is in a consortium with other local libraries, so they agree as a consortium what they're going to take out. That's quite good. That's a really up-to-date, you know, we've got some really up-to-date books on there. The Man Who Died Twice, I've already read that luckily. Waiting for a Slow Fire Burning. So, you know, it's not all older titles. There's a lot of new stuff, new releases. So it is worth going to your library. I know my library is obviously BorrowBox, but I know some people have said they're on the Libby app. I'm trying to think what other ones I've heard of. I don't know if I have, but it's worth going and seeing what your library has. A lot of libraries have Press Reader as well, where you can do magazines and you know, comics and things. So that's a good option. I've just done them, haven't I? Celebrating Diversity. Trending titles, that's Sally Rooney ones, really recent out. Malibu Rising, I want to read that one. I've read The Lock-In. Oh, put a paper towel on it, that sounds good. The Weird and Wonderful World of Primary Schools. So yeah, go along and have a look, ask your library. If you haven't tried it before, go for it. I'm reading Shadowgast at the minute, but I didn't realise it was available to read and nobody wants it on there. I'm going to borrow that, so I've got it on my phone as well for when I'm in work on my break and I can read it quickly. So it started with a dog. Oh, that sounds good. So yeah, go and ask at your library. Right, I'm in the car. I'm ready to go to Goulburn Library and then Ashton Library. I've got my trusty, oh excuse me, that's not my puppy bag to put my books in. I've got my travel cup with lemon tea in. I am going for a browse today to see if there's anything I fancy, and I'll show you what I get. I'm also looking for specifically some orange books. Don't know why I'm doing that. Orange books for a thing. So yeah, come with me and we'll see what we can do. Well, that was a little bit disappointing, as you can see from the sign, because of staff situation and stuff. Because of COVID, they've had to shut and just open the bigger two libraries, but they have said that Ashton's still open, so fingers crossed when I get there we will actually be able to go in. bag full of orange books, and hopefully when I get home I'll be able to show you why I was doing that. There's quite a lot of people in, so I didn't get as much footage in there as I'd have liked, but there was a children's group going on in the children's area, so I thought I'm not getting my camera out, not when there's groups of children around like that. I didn't think it was fair. But I have just seen this sign on a lamppost. Imagine if that was the sign for your GP surgery, how much more comfortable would you feel going there? So yeah, just on the way back to the car, I'm going to go home and do my mystery thing with my orange books, and then we'll probably end the video there. So I'll speak soon. Bye. Right, I'm back from the library. I'm going to show you what I needed my orange books for. See what you think. Number 1, my little pumpkin. Number 2, my black kitty cat. Number 3, my little ghost. Halloween enough? I am dying to show these to Sophie when she gets back from school. I just thought they fit in really well with what we're doing. We do these at the library all the time. If you remember at Christmas, I did the Santa Claus and the Snowman. I'll put a little picture up here. And so at the library we try and do things in themes. So I might try and do these at my library when I get back in tomorrow or Friday. So that's the end of the National Libraries Week video that I planned for today. I'm really gutted that I only got along to one library and didn't get to film much, but as you can see, we love libraries in this house. Keep using yours. If you haven't got a library card yet, get in touch with them. Most of them will do it online for you and send you a card out in the post, or just pop in. All they need most of the time is just your name, your address, your date of birth, contact details, and you're off. And like I say, if you can't always get into the library, the online ebooks and audiobooks is really worth it. So thanks for listening, and speak soon. Bye.